Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alexandra, aka the not so evil stepmother, and for today's video, my friends, we are going to be doing a bomb or bust with drugstore releases because there are some new little black eyeshadows from Maybelline. There's also a new bronzer by L'Oreal, as well as they extended their Infallible concealer and now it is 24-hour full wear, so we're gonna check that out, as well as Maybelline, their Perfector 4-in-1 Glow. They just released new shades of this, so we're gonna be checking that out and a bunch of other stuff. So if you guys are ready, let's get into this. All right, you guys, let's see what the drugstore's working with. So I picked up 2 of these new shadow blocks sets by Maybelline. So they're just basically these little like eyeshadow cubes. And I think it's kind of like Maybelline's play on what Kaja did. So there's no mirror inside. And basically you get 3 shadows. So in this one, there's a matte, a shimmer, and then this other formula, which I thought was a matte, but when I swatched it, it's kind of like more like a satin. So let me swatch these really quickly for you guys. So there is the matte shade. There is the shimmer shade. Ooh, super buttery. And then, ooh, that looks very promising. All right, let's take a look at the purple one. So there's the light purple. Oh, I'll tell you what, if you have nails, you might have a problem opening these, but that's what we're working with. So let's go ahead and swatch it here. These feel very different than that first one that we swatched. Yeah, that purple is disappointing. They could have done a much, yeah, all of those disappointing. Like they feel completely different than that first set swatched, like completely different. So let's play in the purple one first. I already primed this eye with the Jaclyn Hill, and let's just go into this light purple right here. And I'm using the best brushes, you guys. I'm using the BK Beauty brushes, so we're gonna try to give it the best possible chance to perform well. But yeah, okay, so obviously that light shade, I mean, it's not showing up on me. This probably is not going to show up on most people. I don't even care if you're like super fair. So when I built it up a little bit there, you can kind of see, I mean, just a tinge. And this is like my 3rd dip. Yeah, that's not very promising at all. All right, so let's go into this matte right here. And this is just my Lunar Beauty brush. And wow, that's really light too. Like really light, you guys. Like really, really light. Oh, wow. Yeah. And see, this is the thing about Maybelline. Sometimes they can put out some amazing quality shadows. And then other times they put out this craziness. So yeah, unless you want, I mean, I'm talking like the super lightest wash of color. I mean, you guys just saw I had to like dip into that like 3 or 4 times just to get a little bit of pigment. So this is definitely going to be one of those wash of color type things. All right, let's try the purple shimmer here. Let's see what that's working with. Yeah, no, Maybelline. I mean, it's pretty. The color is really, really pretty, but it's just like, it's so shiny in the pan. But then when you put it on your eye, it's not, yeah, it's just not, I mean, you guys, this is just not doing it for me. Like, not at all. So I definitely don't think the Broadway and Prince Street, oh, it's worth it. Let's get into the other one. Let me wipe this off my eye real quick and let's get into this one because this one swatched really good. But also the pictures online looked a lot more rosy tone, and when you actually look at the shades in the palette, it's not as rosy toned as, yeah. So let's try this. All right, let's check out West 4th and Perry Street. So same thing. We're gonna start with the one on top. And we are gonna hope that this is gonna give us a little more. And it looks like it is. Oh, yay, good. This is a really pretty color. And I think this is like a great shade for on top. I don't know what they were thinking with that purple one. Like that shade is, especially if you're only doing, you know, in these little shadow blocks, 3 shades. You need a transition, you need a shade for depth, and then you need a shimmer shade. And I feel like the transition shade is just too light. The shade for depth is too light. Like the whole thing is just too light. Like there's absolutely no depth with that palette. But this is a really pretty shade. Clearly it can be built up, or you can just, again, do like the light wash of color. So that's really pretty. I'm gonna put a little bit over here, and then we're gonna go into the darker shade here. See what kind of depth we can get. Little kick up there. Ooh, this is a nice shade. These swatch so good, you guys. Yeah, see, this is the thing. Maybelline can either make some really crappy shadows or some really, really good ones. And it seems like in these little shadow blocks, like all blocks are not created equal. You know what I mean? Like some of them are clearly, I mean, like this is taking no time. I mean, no effort. This is definitely one of those like run out the door kind of eyeshadow looks for sure. So yeah, that's rather impressive. And you can, and this was one dip, you guys. This was one dip. I have not dipped back in. Like, that's pretty promising. All right, so let's go into the shimmer shade, and I'm just going to use my finger with that because again, this is supposed to be like a quick run out the door shade. Again, on, you know, the pictures, even on Amazon and on Trend Mood and on Maybelline's post, this looks a lot more rosy toned, and it is definitely not. Like there's one rosy toned shade in this palette, and that's that top one. But the rest of them are clearly a brown. You're going to get a very brown smoky eye. I wish this shimmer was just a little bit lighter because it is very close to the depth shade. So you are going to have to, you know, pack a little more on if you want your outside corner to be darker. But aside from that, formula-wise, this is pretty nice. It's a far cry from the first one for sure. So let me do my other eye and then we will get to the all right, you guys, so I just went ahead, since we used Maybelline eyeshadow and used the Maybelline The Falsies Lash Lift Mascara, let's move on to complexion. I really am excited about this. So this is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. Now, I know you're probably looking at me like, Alex, that's been out for a while. And you are correct, it is, or it has, but Maybelline released new shades because when this originally released, it only came in like light, medium, dark, and deep or something like that. And now they have released more in between shades because I couldn't even try it the first time. The light was too light, the medium was too deep. So this is light medium 1.5. I'm very happy to see Maybelline do this. I wish more brands would release like extensions of shade ranges. Like if a product does well, you know, it's okay to just only release like 4 shades as long as there's a wide range between them just to test it out. But then if you get good feedback, release more shades. So applause to Maybelline for doing that. I really am glad that they did, but I'm also really nervous. So if you're not familiar with this product, this is supposed to be Maybelline's version of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. And you pretty much use this like the old school wand. Ooh, that is a really good shade. All right, I'm excited. I'm excited because when I first looked at the bottle, I was like, oh God, that's gonna be too dark. But it's not. It's actually perfect. Oh, that's got me excited. Let's see. Let's see. So I'm just gonna use a foundation brush to kind of pat that out and just see what she's given us. I guess I should probably use a sponge on the other side. So I use a foundation brush on this side. I'll use a sponge on that side. And we'll see, you know, what all the hype is about with this product. But so far, it's really good. I don't know, for me personally, if I would use this alone without, you know, any other like foundation. I mean, maybe on like a no makeup day, I don't know, we'll have to see. But it, I mean, it is giving me like a little bit of color, a little bit of evening out, so I can see what everybody was talking about and why they wanted more shades. Because when I tried to use the light, same thing with the Charlotte Tilbury, like this is far too light for me, so it just doesn't look good. But yeah, this having a little bit of color to it, and it is pretty, it's very glowy. So here's the side without. Here's the side without, so you guys can see. All right, let me grab a sponge and we'll do the other side. So I just walked in the bathroom to wet my sponge, and oh my God, you guys, my skin actually looks really good. So I think I'm going to change that last statement and say that I probably would wear this alone on its own, because I mean, it is giving, like, do you guys see that? It is giving like some coverage, but it's not like a lot. It's not too much. It's melting right in with the rest of my skin, and it really does give a very pretty, like, lit from within glow, but not too much, you know, like not too much at all. Okay, so here's with a sponge, and I have to say, I think I like the brush better with this, which that doesn't happen very often, but it happens. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just add a little more and then just blend that in with the brush, because I just like the finish better with the brush. And I'm not swiping, as you guys can see, I'm just kind of dabbing it out. And yeah, it looks really good, you guys. I know, obviously, it looks super shiny because I've got lights shining on my face. But yeah, like I said, when I walked in the bathroom, and this side, as you can see, is calmed down quite a bit. So it does settle a little bit, and it doesn't stay this shiny. But this is beautiful, like absolutely beautiful. I am very happy about this. Very, very happy about this. Great job, Maybelline. I really want to try this. This is by L'Oreal. Their Infallible Full Wear Full Coverage Concealer. Now, it says this is full coverage. We got a light coverage kind of look going here, so this might not work out so well. But they apparently changed this formula, and it is now 24-hour full coverage, full wear. So hopefully I got the right shade. I mean, I do need a brighter shade, but that might be a little bit too bright. It's always a very fine line that I walk across with concealers, you know? So let's just pat that out and see what she's giving us. Oh yeah, that's too bright of a shade. I'm gonna have to exchange this, but that's okay. It is definitely full coverage. It is sinking into my little lines and stuff, but that is normal. Pretty much every concealer does that. There is very few concealers that actually like smooth out and don't accentuate every fine line, wrinkle, and crease that I have. Like very, very few. Very few. But yeah, it's a pretty concealer. And it looks like it's kind of setting down on its own a little bit there. So okay, so I'm just using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder just to set the rest of my face. And while I'm doing that, I gotta ask you guys, have you been following the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial? Because oh my God, I want a shirt that says I heart Camille Vasquez. Like, I love her, dude. That girl does not play, and I absolutely lost my shit when she played that deposition, that video deposition where Amber Heard admitted to TMZ being tipped off. I lost it. I really did. I was like, oh, like, how many of you guys have been watching it, like, yelling at the damn screen like I have? Because I've totally been at the screen. All right, I am very excited about this. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Freshware Bronzer, which now that I've made everything nice and pasty with their concealer, I definitely need some color back in my life. So I'm very excited about this. This feels so soft, you guys, like so soft. So I did get mine, and let me just say, their shade range on this, I was actually pretty impressed with. This is in the shade 300 light medium. So it looks like this might be all right. I'm hoping it's not going to be too orangey, because I was looking at the medium and the medium definitely looked like it was going to be too red or orangey. So I'm like, you know what? We're just going to go with the light medium, and I'm totally fine if it builds. Oh yeah, which it does. I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. Yeah, this is nice. Okay, hang on a minute. L'Oreal stepping up to the plate. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's nice. Like, just for just a wash of bronzer color. I mean, I like a lot more bronzer, but I mean, if you're, you know, not super heavy on your bronzer like I am, and you just want a really wash of color, this is great. And it's not one of those like buildable formulas like the Jaclyn Hill bronzers where you have to like build and build and build and build. Like, as you guys saw, that was 2 dips. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's awesome. That's really, really nice. And it's not too red. It's not too orange. Man, I'll tell you what, Drugstore and main brands, they're really stepping up this year. And I think it's just because there's so many amazing brands out and so many amazing products. Like, there is no time to play. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have time to screw around when it comes to your products. Like, you better just release a good product. Like, I think that's kind of why Maybelline did like a crappy formula and then a good formula. So at least somebody's going to be talking about how good one of the little block eyeshadows are. You know what I mean? Oh, I love this bronzer. Okay, I love this, you guys. This is a bronzer that I can tell you right now, if you applied it to somebody's face and hid the fact that this was from L'Oreal, they would not be able to tell that this is a drugstore product, because it is absolutely behaving and smoothing and going on and building up just like a high-end. I mean, just like any of my high-end bronzers. Like, you would not be able to tell the difference. So this is an absolute hit for sure, you guys. All right, for blush, I think I'm just going to use the blush stick by ColourPop, because I haven't used these in a really long time. And I'm kind of going through my products right now, trying to figure out which ones I want to keep and which ones I want to get rid of. And do I still like this formula, or has my preferences changed? You know what I mean? So this is definitely one of those products on the chopping block for me. So I just want to see if it's still wearable. Do I still like it? This is pretty dang pink though. But it does have a really pretty like sheen to it. It's not bad, not bad. I've had this for a while. It doesn't smell bad. Does ColourPop even still make these, I wonder? I'm like, that's really the question. Does ColourPop still even make these? Like, at least it doesn't smell bad. But it's pretty. It's a pretty blush. It's definitely a pretty blush for sure. All right, you guys. So on my lips, I just went ahead and used the e.l.f. Love Triangle Lip Filler Liner. Do not sleep on these, you guys. They are amazing lip liners. I've talked to you guys about these before. I have the shade Mauve, even though it doesn't really look like a mauve on me, but that's okay. Shade Mauve. Yeah, I really do enjoy it. Anyways, let's talk about these products that we were testing and trying on today, because we got some hits and we got some misses. The first thing, the shadow blocks. Clearly, they are not created equally, as I said earlier. So this purple one, I would stay far away from, along with any other ones that have like, because there was a couple, like I saw a green one, but I didn't get that one because same thing. It had like this really white shade on top. And I feel like if you're only working with 3 colors, then you need them all to show up on your eye. Like, you don't have the room to play with like the transition setting shade, you know what I mean? And so I think that's kind of where they mess up with this, because like darker skin tones, they are not going to be able to use this at all. Like maybe this one, but that one, I mean, unless they use a super white base, and this one right here, same thing, it's just going to cause issues. Now this one, on the other hand, which is the ones that I have on my eye now, This is amazing. The formula is amazing. Like, it's different. Like, the formula in this one and this one, as you guys saw in the swatches, is completely different. But this one is good. Although it does look different in the pictures than it does in real life, it's still good. So that's the only like pinky toned like shade like that. And the rest are like these dark brown shades, but really, really good. Although I will say this shade right here and this shade right here, even though as you can see, they clearly look very different in the pan, on the eye, you can't really tell one from the other, with the exception of the shimmer. You know what I mean? So essentially these are the same colors. It's just this one has shimmer in it and that one is like more of like a satiny matte type of finish. I don't even know what that is. I mean, it feels matte. I mean, it's matte, but it's just really creamy and it looks so good on the eye. Like, this is a very, very nice shade. So the only way I would say that I would pick these up is to pick up this one or any ones that have this type of formula in it, and, you know, just to use it or have it for like a smoky eye. But yeah, you're only going to get really like one look out of it. You know what I mean? So I think this one's worth it. The other one, this one, definitely not. Stay the hell away from it. All right. The Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. This thing is amazing. It's surprisingly amazing. I thought I was going to hate this because I don't like really glowy, like shiny makeup. Like, I tried the Say underneath my makeup and it was okay. It's basically kind of same ordeal as the Charlotte Tilbury and as this. You just apply these under makeup, but this I like and would use on its own without anything over top. Like, if I had a super light coverage concealer like the Say Hydra Beam Concealer, and this would be probably amazing together. So I'm very excited to keep playing around with this. And I think this is a great product. And I'm so glad they finally released more shades. So this is awesome. The bronzer, as I said, you can't tell that this is a drugstore bronzer. When I swatched it, when I felt it, when I applied it, like, it just blends like a dream. It is buttery. It is smooth. It is everything you want in a powder bronzer. So if you are looking for a good, solid powder bronzer that is not going to break the bank, this is it, baby. Like, this is it for sure. Without a doubt. Definitely don't sleep on this. As far as the concealer goes, I need to get a little bit darker of a shade and also play around with it a little more because it is a little full coverage, and the look that we went for originally was a little more light coverage. So, you know, I'm going to have to play around with it a little more, but I mean, so far so good. It actually looked like it was starting to set down on its own. So yeah, I'm excited to play around with it some more. I'm hoping like maybe it'll turn out to be like the CoverGirl concealer and one of my summertime favorites. You never know. But anyways, that is all I have for you guys today. I really hoped you enjoyed this drugstore bomb or bust. So we got bomb, bust, bomb, bomb. I don't know yet. You know what I mean? That's where we're at. All right, until next time, see ya.